Anthony Joshua says he is nearing the end of his career. Let's talk about it. Okay, so Anthony, Big Femi, Joshua says that he is nearing the end of his career. He says that he got about 5 years left. He's 31 now, so he will be retiring when he is 36. Wow. Even though we have 5 years to go, it just seemed like his career has came and gone real quick. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like that, even though I know he's been boxing for a little while. I think we just enjoy his rise. So when he's even talking about retiring 5 years, I'm like, no, man, you can't. That's too young. That's too early. But he says he's not one of those people who lives in the moment. He's always planning for the future. And I believe he expressed getting into some politics after this, you know. He definitely has the reputation and the character for it, you know. But why do I want to talk about this? Because we need to talk about boxing, because I'm going to be honest with y'all. Probably right after Anthony Joshua retires, maybe, I'm going to be done with boxing too. Yep, won't even be reporting on this shit no more. You know? And I'm going to tell you why. Because you guys didn't hear of a Bruce Vane until Anthony Joshua came on the scene. Prior to that, Bruce Vane didn't exist. You know? And I keep telling people, if it wasn't for Anthony Joshua and Fanny Nanny, you guys wouldn't have no Bruce Vane at all. Bruce Vane rose up out of a necessity to bring balance, because what was going on at the time when I started was just flat out ridiculous, you know. And I didn't think nobody was speaking up and getting at these dudes the way they needed to be talked to and the way they needed to be got at, you know what I'm saying? And I thought I had the delivery for the job, you know what I'm saying? I had the balls for the task, you know what I'm saying? I had the tongue to get the job done, you know? So the reason why I bring that up is because I'm already thinking about that. See, the reason why I say I'm done with boxing after that is because if it was not for him, I wouldn't have took a second look at the sport again. I was heavy off into UFC. Heavy. I mean heavy. You know, I wasn't even looking back at boxing. I didn't start looking at boxing again, not really, and I'm talking about seriously, not until Anthony Joshua came on the scene. He caught my attention, he caught my eye. He just didn't catch my attention, catch my eye. Anthony Joshua lit up the entire boxing world. He turned on the lights in the heavyweight division. He turned on boxing. People don't want to admit it, but even the attention that boxing is getting today is because Anthony Joshua came on the scene. A lot of people are not going to give him that. A lot of people are going to tell you, no, it was Deontay Wilder. It was bullshit. Deontay Wilder was getting no attention. He did nothing for the heavyweight division. He did absolutely nothing. And I say that because if Deontay Wilder had it popping like that before Anthony Joshua came on the scene, then why was he still just fighting for $1 million? See, when Anthony Joshua came on the scene, everybody tax bracket went up. Wilder has gotten paid what he has gotten paid because of Anthony Joshua, and the same thing with Tyson Fury. A lot of people have made money that they never would have made, hence Andy Ruiz, if it wasn't for Anthony Joshua. He just didn't help those guys. He helped the sport. It's been a while since somebody's been able to capture the audience of boxing like that. And he did it to the point you say, okay, well, that's the heavyweight division. Well, let me see what else was going on. oh, look this Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford, and that's really how you know that, and that's how I really take a second look. But without getting real drawn out, I say that because we talk shit about Wilder, but you want to know the truth about Deontay Wilder? When he decides to go hang his boxing gloves up, there's nobody to replace him. I made this video well over a year ago. Well over a year ago. It's called State of Emergency. Some of y'all may remember it. And I brought up the fact how we don't have boxers to replace the current ones that are active. We have no American heavyweight. None. Don't bring up no Michael Hunt. Don't be bringing up no Jarrell Miller. That ain't it. So without Wilder, America has no representation in the heavyweight division that poses any kind of threat or holds any sway. That's the truth. Now, when Anthony Joshua retires, being that America, when Deontay Wilder became champion, that was the first time an American has been champion in the heavyweight division in 10 damn years. And he didn't move the needle. So once you get the guy who's been moving the needle and he retires, boxing slips further back into abyss. And I know what some of y'all saying, come on, this is one guy. He can't do a lot. He can't do that. Canelo was one man, ain't he? Isn't he? It's safe to say before Joshua, boxing was held up by one man. Canelo. That's the only one who could generate some interest since Floyd. And when Floyd had it, Floyd was holding up boxing for years by himself. That's another credit and accolade that they don't want to give Floyd. It's another credit and accolade that they don't want to give Floyd. Floyd kept boxing alive. One man. So don't tell me one man can't change what's going on in boxing and the climate. You know how I know? Because we all remember when Anthony Joshua lost, right? It affected even YouTubers. When Anthony Joshua lost, everybody's view count went down. As a content creator, everybody's view count went down. People disappeared off the internet. Subscriber count went down when Anthony Joshua took his loss. Ask a subscriber. Ask a content creator. They will tell you. So you can't say one man don't have sway over the boxing world. So the point is, when Deontay Wilder sits down and there's nobody to replace him, and when Anthony Joshua sits down, you tell me, what happens to boxing? That's if Canelo is still fighting in 5 years. But Canelo only holds up a leg of the table in boxing. There's 3 other legs that need to be supported. But Canelo is not enough because the sport was still in abyss. It was still in the dark ages. So the question is, who's going to replace these guys? Who's going to be the next Anthony Joshua? Who's going to be the next Deontay Wilder? I say that because we're not building stars. We're not building stars anymore. Genuine stars are not built anymore. Seeing somebody with a star power like Floyd is rare because Floyd's star power built other stars. This is why, from prospects to contenders, still call out Floyd's name to this day. It's the truth. Floyd name built Pacquiao. They don't want to admit it, but it's true. Attaching Pacquiao's name to his. Floyd name helped build Canelo. Those are facts. Floyd name helped build Errol Spence. See, this is how stars are now created. They're created off the past fighters. Just like people are trying to create a legacy off Manny Pacquiao still. This is why everybody's chasing Manny Pacquiao. The point is, when these guys sit down, who do we got? Nothing. You could turn the lights back off in boxing. That's a fact. That's a fact. But most importantly, let me tell you another problem. This is not a sport that people run to be in anymore. We lose our best athletes to the NBA and the NFL. It's true. But let me tell you part of the reason why that is. Part of the reason that is because America don't support boxing. And they don't support boxing because America has a complex. Yeah, America has a complex. Let me show you the reason why people are not rushing towards boxing anymore. You see what this guy wrote right here? This was attached to the article. You should never be able to fix your mouth to say Anthony Joshua has done nothing. He's one of the most decorated fighters in boxing. Have you seen his fucking resume? And you said he's done a little next to nothing? Can you believe this? Now, whether this dude is a casual idiot or not, it doesn't matter. Because the type of dude this guy is, these are the majority of the people that make up boxing. The second Anthony Joshua can't give credit, can't get any credit, and he has done nothing, this is why people don't come to this fucking sport. It is the only sport that you can do well in and get discredited because you do well. This is the only sport where you will not reach your highest potential because you are too good. This is the only sport where being too good is a problem. You'll end up like an Andrade. You'll end up like a Rigondeaux. You'll end up like what they're trying to do to Terrence Crawford. Or what they did to the Hawk when he wanted to fight Sugar Ray Leonard. You know? This is the problem with this fucking sport. This is why people don't run to this sport. And most importantly, why would any urban black fighter, athlete, or whatever you want to call it, why would they run to go be in boxing when they know it's hard for them to get credit doing any fucking thing? No, I'm going to go hoop. I'm going to go play basketball. Fuck, I'm going to go to the UFC. There's no incentives to bring anybody in boxing. Because when you got people like Canelo, who owns the judges and the scorecard, the king of the scorecard, why fight? When you got the Tyson Fury Glovegate shit going on, why do you want to be involved in that? Everybody's cheating everywhere. Mauricio Suleiman changing rules and this and that. Franchise champions out the ass. YouTubers fighting YouTubers on main event cards and having boxers under YouTubers. Sport is a mess, man. And it's why people don't run towards the sport. So my question is, when Canelo retires, when Anthony Joshua retires, and when Deontay goes sit his silly ass down somewhere, you tell me, what stars do we have that can hold boxing up? Not a fucking one.